Okay, here is the feedback for the question that we see above. Let's look at that question. Some people feel that the cost of space exploration is far too high for the benefits, given the benefits it brings, while others argue that that shouldn't be there, that space programs should continue no matter what the cost. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. Okay, so when you think about this question, think about it's a discuss both sides, right? And give your own opinion. But what it's really asking, in a way, is do the advantages of space exploration outweigh the costs? Okay, so you can look at it that way. And if you're going to discuss both sides, you need to you need to support your main ideas, or you need to at least say what the other people support their main ideas with. Let's see how well this is done. Okay, it is irrefutable that space projects demands an inordinate amount of money. Okay, I'm not a fan, I've said it before, of these topic sentences. I know my several esteemed colleagues think that you should start your essay with this type of sentence, but you can really see the danger here in this particular sentence. Okay, what does it mean? It is irrefutable. Irrefutable, as we look over our little trusty companion over here, we can look, and it means it cannot be refuted, or it cannot be denied, it cannot be argued. Okay, so irrefutable, incapable of being disproved. Okay, well, that's the whole point of the essay, is to discuss whether or not it demands, and I assume that's just a typo there, inordinate amount of money. Once again, perhaps trying to show off with vocabulary, because inordinate means far too much. Okay, specifically beyond reasonable limits and amount of agreement. So you're saying it cannot be denied that space projects demand too much money. Not, this should be a lot of money. Well, certainly that's true. And exorbitant. Exorbitant, now there's a good word. Some people believe that we missing article there, the cost involved in this type of project is not justified. Keeping the outcome should be just be not into, but in consideration. That's a good sentence. Very complex. I like it. However, I sides, again, we'll just assume that's just a slip, and you know the basic grammar rules there. However, I side with those who maintain that the process of exploring space should continue regardless of the cost involved. Okay, all right, fair enough. I like that. Process of exploring space. Well, we kind of go into space and fits and starts. You know, there's projects. It's not linear. I wouldn't describe it as a process because it's not so apparently planned. So we maintain that the endeavor of exploring space, or just those who maintain that exploring space, we don't need this. It's just kind of extra words. You're at 330 words. That exploring space should continue. Okay, so we know your side. Now, the transition into the second paragraph is somewhat difficult because when I read this, I side with those who maintain exploring space regardless of the cost involved. Okay, to begin with, I'm expecting you to explain this. So this is not a good connector. You either need to say, I will discuss both sides, present both sides. I will present both sides and explain my opinion. Or first, this essay will look at the incorrect reasons why people think it's too expensive, and secondly, look at the benefits that justify the costs. You've let the reader know what they're going to read. It's called an essay sentence, and it's a good thing to do. So again, as I'm reading this, I'm thinking you're going to start with why you believe what you do. To begin with, people who give priority to cost, again, missing to the cost of space exploration, space expedition. Okay, wrong word. Rather than the benefit, there's just one. the benefits it might, rather than the benefits it might bring, maintain. Oh, I see. That it might bring, maintain such belief, maintain their beliefs, or how about maintain such beliefs because of the superficial advantages they can see, like the enhanced connectivity throughout the world, as a satellite in the orbit of Earth can help in preventing. Okay, remember, superficial means not important. Again, you're not judged on IELTS essays for having good ideas, just supporting them. And yeah, because of the superficial advantages they can see. This is not a superficial advantage unless you prove it. Okay? How about, they can see, like, the national pride of company. That's, you could say national pride is superficial, just on the surface. This is tangible. This is real in providing honor and around high-speed internet. You can say, you can support that further by saying that no one needs to be connected 24 hours a day in every corner of the earth. This is not a valuable advantage. But you haven't shown it's superficial. And by the way, it's not a satellite. There's many satellites. Moreover, not a good connector when you're discussing the other side. Moreover means the next thing is going to be more important, hence more than what came before. Moreover, with the help of satellite images of the Earth, always the Earth, and Earth is a proper place, the Earth, comma, the route navigation is much easier. Navigation is much easier. For example, a mobile application called Google Maps. Everyone knows what Google Maps is. You can just say Google Maps, help. Okay, singular needs an S. People find any route. You spelled it right here, but here it's spelled wrong in the entire world. Once again, how is that a superficial advantage? Sounds pretty nice to me. Okay. However, the estimated cost, or it's not estimated, the actual costs, it's not an estimate, it's real. The cost of putting a satellite in the outer space, into, not the outer space, is in the billions of dollars. No, it's not. It's in the hundreds of millions. Therefore, comma, people maintain that this investment is not even to the outcome, is not equivalent, is not worth. Even is not a good word there. Well, I know you're not supposed to support the other side that strongly, but it's kind of like you see what I mean? This is not superficial. This is not superficial. These are genuine things that are beneficial. Oh my. Okay. On the other hand, some people and I know them personally, believe that in addition to the above-mentioned trivial advantages, they're not trivial. Okay, you can change sides now. You can say what you think. They're not, I'm sure you don't agree that they're trivial. There are some extremely beneficial results might come. How about there are some that might come? Again, that's a really clunky sentence. You don't need there are. Some extremely beneficial might come. And then we need some kind of transition here as well, which can prove the worth of the ample amount of money spent in interstellar exploration. your sentences go on too long. Look at this. This is all one sentence. On the other hand, some extremely beneficial results come as well, which can prove the worth of the ample amount of money spent. Why do you need to join 3 clauses together? Come as well. Remember, particularly for the first sentence, you need a topic sentence. Come as well. Yeah. These prove the worth of the significant or the great deal of, or the great amount of money, the great deal of, or the great amount of money spent on, not in, interstellar exploration. I'm trying to show off with words. Interstellar means, over here, happening between stars. We haven't explored between the stars yet. Firstly, it increases. That's the 3rd time you've made that mistake. When you make a simple mistake, like not including an S on a present simple 3rd person, the examiner on the 3rd try will say, oh, they don't know that grammar. It's not a slip anymore. The possibility of finding habitable planets similar to Earth. Firstly, it increases the possibility of finding habitable similar to Earth. Okay, good. But once again, your sentences go on too long, period. Earth is capitalized, by the way. The population is ever rising, and soon the time will come when the Earth's space, not a good word. How about the Earth's habitable space, habitable land, will come. So you got time will come, will come. You're repeating yourself. Avoid that. Don't use the same words twice around. The saturation level. How about will come? Saturation. Not a good collocation. And then what? People will have no further place to live, and overcrowding overpopulation will cause tremendous, horrible things. So, therefore, it is important that we travel to the stars to find new places to live. You have to explain why finding habitable planets is an advantage. You can't just say, here's the first advantage, or here's the first good thing. You have to explain why it's a good thing. Furthermore, an alternate source of water. How about alternate sources of water? Can, will be found, might be found. As the availability of consumable water, potable water, is one of the grave issues, in today's time, because only 20 to 25% of global water is suitable for consumption. Consumable water, okay. Consumable water is suitable for consumption. That number is actually about 1%. Hence, it is justified to spend enormous amounts of money on this type of exploration. All right, that's support, I suppose. To conclude, for some people, the cost of is not justified as they only see the obvious output. However, I uphold the view that this astronomical expense. This expenses simple mistakes. Astronomical, this is a good pun, actually. Astronomical means just like, what did you start with? Astronomical means inordinate. Yeah, it's a negative word. It means too much. So it's not a good adjective for an expense if you think that it's worth it. That this huge expense, this tremendous expense, but not astronomical because it means too much. It also means having to do with space, so it's kind of fitting. Additional expense is extremely essential as it increases the possibility of finding inhabitable planets. You said habitable before, but here you change it to inhabitable. Finding inhabitable planets as well as sources of clean water. Okay. Task response. Did you answer all parts of the question? Yes. Did you cover them equally? No, because I don't think you did a good job of explaining why the other side thinks what it does. And it does say you should discuss both sides. Oh, that stupid internet and Google Maps, that's not important. No one says that. So I'll give you a 6. You're using your connectors inappropriately on occasion, but your sentence length is so long that it's hard to follow your point in the as you're reading along. You understand it as you're writing it, but it's all about being coherent to the point where we can understand it. So I'm going to give you a 6 there too. Excellent collocation. I'd say an 8 for lexical resource. Even though all these yellows, 7 or 8. But grammar, the simple mistakes are going to keep you at a 7, not an 8. So 7, 7, 6, 6, 6.5. My opinion only.